Hi, yeah, it's Jackie here with the LGFA, and we're on a call today looking ahead to some more club activity coming up over the weekend and also reflecting on some recent club activity as well. Delighted to be joined by three guests this afternoon. I've got Ger McCarthy, well-known freelance reporter in Cork, who was with us last week, and he's back again. How are you, Ger?
Oh, good, Jackie. Thanks for having me back.
Good, good, good. Anytime. Fidelma Marrinan from West Clare Gaels in County Clare is also on the call. Fidelma won the Zukar Golden Boot Award as the top scorer in the TGCAR All-Ireland Championships in 2023, and she's got a big game to look forward to as well this weekend. And some more news she'll be bringing us. She's starting something very exciting as well next week, so we'll hear all about that from Fidelma. And Niamh Murray is also on the call from Clann Éireann in Armagh, the recently crowned champions, and our Croke Park LGFA Player of the Month award winner for September. Folks, how are we all doing? All good, yeah?
All good.
Good.
So I'm going to come to you first, Fidelma, right? So you've got something of a busy few days coming up. So you might let our
Yeah,
viewers know exactly what's happening.
you could say that anyways. Yeah, so I finished up work. I work in Central Sports in Kilrush. Finished up work there yesterday. And yeah, so I have my county final on Saturday. And I actually start work, well not work, I wouldn't say work, but start the guards on the Sunday. So it's a busy couple of days for me.
So you're going to be based in Templemore for a little while. Is that the
Yeah,
case?
yeah, so it's basically like 12 weeks in there, 12 weeks at home, then 12 weeks back in. They're like we could be stationed anywhere. But yeah, exciting time.
So you're joining the full force. There's the reserves as well for them. You're going for the full whack, yeah.
Back, yeah, you might as well go all in.
And was this something you always wanted to do for them to join the Garda Síochána?
Yeah, definitely. So I did it in college. I actually did criminal justice in WIT. I think it was a couple of years ago. I've been working ever since. Takes a while to get into it, so that's what I've been at the last couple of years. Being at home, I suppose it's so easy to make football, train, and everything. So that's where it's going to change a small bit. But if you love the sport, you'll try as hard as you can.
I wish you well, Fidelma. It's a very exciting time. And tell us a bit about the county final at the weekend. You know what you're up against in the form of the banner. They've been around the block. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, they've been around. I think they've won about 15 of the last 16 county titles. I would have known a lot of them would have played county all the way up, and they're a phenomenal team. Like they're unbelievable. But I think we've been coming. We got to a county final 3 years ago. We won senior B last year, so it's time. I think it's time where we've got so much young ones coming up and kind of ready. So hopefully we can put out a performance or even beat them on Saturday. So
We'll keep an eye out for that result. Fidelma, I'm wishing you well. Niamh Murray, good to see you, and thanks for coming up to Dublin as well during the week to collect your award.
No problem.
Yeah, you had a couple of guests with you as well. Mum and Dad were there as well, were they?
Yes, they were. They were happy enough to come. It was a great wee day out and a good experience, especially like for my first time as well. So it was great.
Excellent. So Clann Éireann retained their title recently against Carrick-Crupp, and on paper it looked like a comfortable enough victory. Niamh, was it?
Um, well, we definitely knew what we were. Well, we definitely had a plan, and we set out for that plan. I think in the first half it was tough enough. Just with the wind, we were playing against the wind the first half. We hit a good couple of wides, probably most of them to do with the actual weather, with the wind. But I mean, a couple there we should have hit them over. But we were kind of looking forward to we had 80% of the possession in the first half, so we were definitely thinking positive about that. And when we got into the changing rooms at half time, we knew we'll have the wind, and we knew that if we just keep up the play and keep passing the ball around, keep the ball and keep it moving, that with the wind, when we get the chance, just hit the ball over the bar, and that's basically what we've done.
I think it was 115 you scored on the day. Niamh, you scored a goal and a few points as well on top of that. So a nice personal outing as well for you.
Yes, definitely a really good feeling. Like anything you can do, to sort of the team, and it's great to be able to do that. A wee bit of pressure, definitely I would take freeze, just a bit of pressure even to get the first one over the bar. But yourself, once you get the first one, you sort of settle into it. But all the girls played absolutely outstanding. Everybody knew the role, and it just sort of took off from there, and it was no stopping us after that.
So you're playing the Captain Champions in Ulster now. I think it's next Sunday week that's coming up. Niamh, Armagh's record in Ulster, the Ulster Championship, is patchy enough to say the least. So you'd be looking to get in among it.
Yes, definitely. Every year, I think, every year we think, right, we're at the best we can be, and we're at a higher standard. But then every year we just seem to surprise ourselves and push ourselves on more. Even in we were only beating teams maybe 2 points for this year, and that's greatly down to new manager Greg, and the girls just really come together, and we really are pushing for Ulster. Even at the beginning of the year, we weren't even thinking about championship. Everything has been Ulster. We're going to get to Ulster, and we're going to do it. So I think where we are as a team and as a management, we're well up for it, and we're ready to pretty much give it a good go. We don't know what we're expecting, but we'll see.
Okay, we'll look ahead to that game next week as well in our next show. Ger McCarthy, you might bring us up to speed in events last weekend in Cork before we look ahead to what's coming up this weekend. You were out and about.
As always, Jackie. Yeah, big weekend last weekend in Cork. 3 county finals at MTU Cork on the one Saturday. Castlehaven from West Cork, their first year up senior, won the Senior B county title. They beat Fermoy, who'd won it the previous year, and this is their 5th consecutive county title. So they've been on the rise over the past 5 years. The upshot of all that is that they will place Comera Rangers in the Senior B Munster quarter final, which is coming up in a couple of weeks. And all West Cork affair in the junior county final. O'Donovan Rossa from Skibbereen, who were beaten the previous year, came back 12 months later, won the title. They are on the road this weekend. They face Lockmore Castleiney in their Munster junior quarter final. Looking forward to that as well. But the big one last Saturday was definitely the meeting of Niamh Murray from Ballyvourney and Clann in the intermediate county final. The winners going up senior. The reason it was significant, the year before, Niamh Murray won the Munster and Cork Junior A titles and went all the way to the All-Ireland final, only to lose out. But Clann won out on the day, and the reason it was significant is that Clann had lost their 3 previous intermediate finals heartbreakingly. So they got over the line, fantastic scenes at the final whistle, and their award is an intermediate quarter final against the Waterford team, Galtier, this weekend as well. So we've got 2, looking forward to all the Munster action coming up. But a really good day out last week, a triple header of finals, big crowds in Cork, a lot of interest in the finals, and fantastic to see each of the winners now continuing their seasons in the Munster Championship.
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking at the Munster fixtures for the weekend, as you say. Galtee Gaels against Nadesha in the junior quarter final, Lockmore Castleiney against the aforementioned O'Donovan Rossa. With Galtee, as you say, against Glanmire at intermediate level, and there's also Milltown Malbay against Rathmore at intermediate level as well. Ulster also gets underway with games in the intermediate and junior championships as well. So plenty to look forward to. Just looking through the fixtures for the weekend, we have a senior final in Galway, which Kilkerran and Clonberne, the All-Ireland champions, are in. They're up against Clare Galway. Other games of note across the board, obviously the Clare senior final, Fidelma Roscommon senior final, we have a Sligo senior final, Leitrim senior final, Meath senior final, Mayo senior final as well, and all those fixtures on our website. And of course the Cork senior final, Ger, which you're going to talk to us about, and you touched on it last week as well. Mourneabbey against Éire. Can Éire get over the line against Mourneabbey, Ger?
As ever, Jackie, you asked the biggest question on everyone's lips. For those who don't know, this is the 3rd consecutive Cork senior county final between the queens of Cork football over the past decade, Mourneabbey and Éire, who are the rising team over the last number of years and have gotten to the last 2 finals. 2 years ago, they were beaten in their first county senior final appearance. It was played at Páirc Uí Chaoimh. It was a big occasion. They didn't really play well on the night, and Mourneabbey won out. Last year, it was much closer, 3-12 to 13 points, and a hat-trick from Laura Fitzgerald of Mourneabbey was the difference in the end. This year, both Mourneabbey and Éire have come through their group phases undefeated, putting up big scores as you would expect both of them to do. They're probably the 2 strongest panels in the senior championship in Cork. But the semi-finals were closer than a lot of people expected. St. Val's put up a huge battle against Éire before eventually losing out. And Aghada, a team we're going to be hearing about in the years to come, along with St. Val's, with a lot of Cork seniors, the likes of Hannah Looney, who won a Cork Camogie All-Ireland this year. Very unlucky against Mourneabbey. Mourneabbey, again, doing just enough to get through. So here we are for the 3rd year in a row between 2 clubs that know each other very, very well. The big difference this year is that both are under new management. Shane Ronayne, who everybody knows is the Cork senior LGFA manager, has been central to a lot of Mourneabbey's success in recent times. He had moved on from Mourneabbey. He's been replaced by a former Cork senior men's manager, Ronan McCarthy. But it's been the same situation. Mourneabbey, as always, are the best club that I know at timing their runs when it comes to various championships, both Cork, Munster and All-Ireland. Under Ronan McCarthy, the usual suspects are still there. Doireann Akira O'Sullivan, Breed O'Sullivan, Maura Callan, Emer Meany. But the likes of Anna Ryan, Ellie Jack, Laura Walsh and Deirdre Cronin are names that have been cropping up week after week after week this year. So Mourneabbey are as strong as they ever were. They are missing Maeve O'Sullivan, their Cork senior goalkeeper, because she has gone abroad. She's been replaced by Abby Hayes, but they haven't missed a beat. They're back in another final as expected, but under new management. Same goes for Éire Óg. Been knocking on the door for many, many years, but they've also got a new manager in Cork All-Ireland, All-Ireland minor winning manager Joe Carroll. They've done exactly the same as last year. And again, much like Mourneabbey, Emer Scally, former Cork senior, playing lights out football this year, their top scorer, but it's far, far from a one-person team. They've got the likes of Orla Kremen, Sive McGoldrick, Isabel Sheehan, Laura Cleary, Emma Cleary, Aoife Nicavard, and then the two Cahillans, Maeve and Orla. So there's plenty of inter-county talent. There's a huge amount of depth to both squads. I cannot wait for it on Saturday. What I'm looking forward to more than anything is how do these two teams set up? Are they going to go sweeper? Are they going to play just as they normally do? They know each other well. There's a healthy respect, but there's also an edge. And that's putting it mildly when these two meet, as there should be when you're playing for a Cork senior title. And I know outside of Cork, there'll be a lot of interest in how this goes and who comes out of it. I don't know how it's going to go. And because I don't know how it's going to go, I'm going to just barely tip Mourneabbey to do it simply because they have the experience and the know-how of doing it. But if there's one team in the county that can unseat them, it's Éire Óg. It promises to be an unbelievably physical, very hard-hitting clash, but with so much talent and so much footballing, experience inter-county on show. It is going to be an absolute cracker. I can't wait for it. Don't know how it's going to go, but I'm just tipping Mourneabbey based on their previous experiences. But irrespective of how it goes, Jackie, Cork will once again have a very, very worthy representative when it comes to the Munster Championship. A lot of eyeballs on this game this Saturday in MTU and Cork, and it promises to be another epic between these two teams who know each other quite well.
You've teed it up lovely, Ger, and we'll keep an eye on your updates as well, and follow Ger on Twitter, or the artist formerly known as Twitter, which is now X. Some nice video content as well across the day to look forward to, I'm sure, Ger. So we'll keep us tagged. We'll retweet. We'll share the news. Fidelma, can I take you back to Croke Park? And obviously you were back with us a couple of weeks ago to collect the Golden Boot. A happier day in many respects. Your previous outing there, narrow defeat to Kildare in the All-Ireland Intermediate Final, TG4 All-Ireland Intermediate Final. Is it nice to get back to the club then, Fidelma, and try and wash that stuff out of your system? And obviously you have a county final now to look forward to as well.
I mean, coming back to collect the award for the Golden Boot is bittersweet, because losing out there, it's like you don't want to go back there again. But no, it's unbelievable to go back to club. Club is where you started out. It's where all your close friends, family, your whole community goes to matches and stuff like that. So club is essentially as important as county to me. And to get to the county final is absolutely unbelievable. We haven't got there, as I said, in the last three years. So it's something that's huge for the community.
Brilliant. And Fidelma, what was it like getting back into Croke Park? You say it was bittersweet, but can you let yourself kind of enjoy the day as well? I think it was a nice day out for you as well.
Yeah, no, look, it was a fabulous day out. It's great, even but collecting individual accolades. It's something you don't really look to at the start of the year. Like you're playing football as part of a team, and it's like you're collecting an award, but like the rest of the team gets nothing. Like, don't get me wrong, it's something I'm very proud of, but it's like you just want to give a piece to all your teammates. But yeah, it was a lovely day, and it was good to get back there. But hopefully we'll be back there next year again, and hopefully we can win next year. So
yeah, is there a sense that you're getting close, Fidelma?
I think so, and I think, look, the lads that came in from Kildare, new management, were absolutely unbelievable. Like, for their first year over us to get us in to Croke Park was absolutely incredible. So that's why the lads coming back for another year is huge for us. I think they're bringing in a couple more with them. But we have the same management. They've kind of set their roots, and we kind of know what's expected of us. They know what's expected of them. And yeah, it's not a fresh start, but it's just building on what we did last year. We've got a good little team. We're not losing like a lot of people. So yeah, I suppose the main aim will we'll start fresh, focus on the little goals that we have to achieve. But as I said, the end goal would be to get to Croke Park again. And I'm not giving up until we get there and win an intermediate title. So I could be 40 years old and I'll still be playing football.
Hopefully it won't be that long for them. But I just want to chat about Wayne, and you mentioned Wayne Freeman and the job he did. Like, he found himself up against his native county in the All-Ireland final, which must have been something that in the back of his head, but he obviously managed to, there was none of that talk. It was just every focus, and all of the backroom team's focus was on you guys and trying to get a performance and a result on the day.
Yeah, and I suppose if he was thinking about it, he definitely wouldn't voice it to us, that's for sure. Yeah, look, it's a bit daunting coming up against your own side, but as he said, like towards the end of it, even after the final, like there was a lot of people that left at the start of the year, and it was, he didn't have to take it on, but he did, and credit to him and credit to all the backroom team and stuff like that. Because for them, I suppose it was crazy trying to get us to Croke Park without 6 or 7 of the starters that were there from the year before. But they worked with it, and I know we played Kildare in a league final as well, and we lost out by a point again. Probably didn't learn as much as what we could have going into Croke Park. I feel like they had the better measure of us throughout the majority of the match. We came back into it, but like it was probably a bit too late. But yeah, look, the lads never vocalised it anyway, that it was up against Kildare. It's like any other match for them, even though it was their hometown. But that wasn't a problem for us anyways.
And for them, congrats on the All-Star nomination as well. There was 2 players from the intermediate grade nominated, yourself and Roisin Byrne. We had Roisin on last week. Nice to get that recognition as well.
Again, yeah, it's absolutely huge. I did not expect that. Definitely didn't expect that at all. It's something you might only get once in a lifetime. You don't know when these are ever going to come back around again. So it's just about taking it all in as they come. And yeah, getting nominated is whatever about getting an award or anything like that. Getting nominated in the senior ranks is massive. Like, I suppose it's more so for my family and friends again, because again, like, I want the whole team winning. But yeah, it's a huge moment.
Fair play, brilliant stuff, and we'll see you at the on the night as well, and there's teams of the championship as well before that as well, so you're going to be busy. Niamh, back to your good self, and well, I probably should have known before we touched base about the Player of the Month, but your full-time gig is as a full-time musician, which is tell us a little bit about more about that and how that came to pass. And look, we're not going to ask you to. We won't put you in the position of getting you to sing us out here or anything, but you might tell us a little bit more about that, Niamh.
Well, for me, like, it's always been singing and football in my life anyways. Those are the two things that I love the most, and only the 2 things that I can talk about really. But I've sung for like my whole life and played music, so whenever I finished university, I just decided to sort of give the likes of like gigging and things like that a go, and thankfully it's worked out for me and got to the stage where I could make it my full-time job. And it's very tough, balancing out the Gaelic and the Gaelic and the singing, but it's like Fidelma says, you have to make the sacrifices for the club in order to to really progress and to really be great. So for me, it's been a no-brainer, to try and keep the Gaelic at the forefront, but obviously music's my job, and I try my best to balance the 2 out as best I can.
So I hope I'm not being too poking too much, but how do you make a crust? Is it various different little? Is it the sum of the parts, Niamh? Do you do gigs? Do you do functions, things like that? How does it all add up to the bigger picture?
Yeah, just start out with like maybe like weddings and things, and then local pub gigs and club gigs and things like that, and then yeah, like private functions and just business things and things like that. So just I started posting music over COVID just through like, you know, the likes of YouTube or Instagram and Facebook, and sort of got a pick up from there, like especially locally as well. Everyone's been really lovely about it, and that's sort of where it started for me. You know, a lot of local pubs took an interest in me and give me a spot, you know, to play. And then over the past, you know, year and a half, 2 years, it's just kind of grown from there, you know, playing all over the place, you know, down south as well and up here and everywhere. So things have just grown, you know, from good to better, which is obviously great for me. Like, but I'm really thankful. It's definitely the people of Lurgan who've really pushed me forward and helped me to get where I am. Like,
fantastic. And are you a one-woman band, or do you have people with you when you're gigging, Niamh?
A bit of everything, to be honest. Just depends, you know, on the function of where it is or what that person wants. But mostly by myself. But I also play like 2 pieces and part of a band as well. Just anything going, really. You know, musicians are quite easy. You know, if you know the key, where you go, start playing and just make it up on the spot. That's the beauty of it.
And is it all types of music, Niamh?
A bit of everything, yeah, but definitely just classics, you know, 70s, 80s, that type of stuff.
I love it. I must get to one of those gigs. Do you fancy a road trip sometime, Ger and Fidelma? What?
Absolutely.
Be nice, wouldn't it?
We could do a live ladies football gig through Zoom here. They could reach millions, Jackie, like you do every week. By the way, Jackie, you bring me on every couple of weeks, and every week I come on, you've got superstars like Fidelma and Niamh on, and I have absolutely no talent whatsoever. So, you know, I'm very, very humbled to be part of this yet again.
You're well able to, that's your talent.
Absolutely. Well able to broadcast, well able to write, well able to do various things there. You undersell yourself, you underestimate yourself.
Not as good as the 3 people on this call. No, sorry, no.
Stop it. Go away. Fidelma, you'd be partial to an old song, I'd say, in the early hours, would you?
I try. I would try, but I wouldn't say I'd be very good now. Definitely not.
And Niamh, I'm really fascinated by this, because is it, you know, to make something that's your passion and a love, to make it a full-time gig that pays the bills, that pays the rent, whatever it is, there must have been a lot of effort went into that to get to the place where you're at now.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't an overnight sort of thing. I'm getting on as if it's like a big deal. It's definitely not. Like, but for me, like, I've just been doing like music from my whole life, so I think just it's not a case of it just decided one day I'm going to start gigging. Like, you know, you have to work to sort of, like, you know, if you get a job doing something musical, make sure you do a good job, you know, so you get recommended again and things like that. So it definitely has been over, like, maybe since I really started taking it serious, like 14, 15. It's definitely been, you know, over those years, just taking every opportunity that's basically given to me and sort of trying to create some sort of platform. Like, I'm not saying I'm huge, like, but what I'm saying is I've gotten to a place enough where this is literally my job. Like, this is what I can do, and I don't wake up in the morning and worry like, oh, do I have a gig? You know, I'm pretty lucky that I'm set in stone, and I've been able to do it for 2 years, and long may it last.
Have you ever had to turn down gigs because of matches, just out of interest?
I'm sure any of the Clann Éireann girls are watching. They're probably having a laugh. Yeah, it's tough. Like, I mean, especially you sound a bit stupid, you know, having to go to your coach and say, oh, I can't make that, you know, I'm sitting in a pub or something, or like I'm doing something. You sound a bit stupid, like. But no, I just do the best. Like, you know, it's all about communication. You just have to sort of communicate with the coaches and communicate with like the girls, and sort of, you know, really try and you know, if I can make it work, which I really try my best to do, make it work. But sometimes, you know, things sort of give, and I think the girls understand, you know, because I think they know that where my head is, you know, it is definitely with football, but sometimes things can't be helped, you know. But I've a real the girls are great, and they understand, and they love it, sure, too.
Brilliant.
Just free gig sometimes.
And Niamh, just to wrap it up on it, where can people find you if they want to get in touch? And if we have anybody asking, we'll certainly direct them your way. You mentioned some of the social media platforms you're on there.
Yeah, I definitely didn't give you a wee pointer before this to get.
Absolutely not. No, you didn't, and that's honest. Yeah, straight up.
No, just like Instagram, like Niamh Murray Music, Instagram and Facebook, and on YouTube, just on basically everything that, you know, all of us young ones are on. So, yeah, just find me there. Like.
Good. So if anybody wants to get in touch, that's where Niamh is. I don't feel so young anymore, Ger. I don't know about you.
No, neither do I, Jack. No.
probably an apt way to end it. We'll leave it to the young ones and Fidelma as well. We wish you, folks, I really enjoyed the chat. Ger, we look out for your coverage over the weekend. Very big final in Cork between Mourneabbey and Éire Óg. Fidelma, all the very best for what lies in store over the next few days. Obviously, a county final followed by Templemore and your journey with the Garda Síochána. We wish you all the very best. And Niamh, we've given you the plug there if anybody wants to get in touch, and we wish you well as well for the remainder of the club campaign with Clann Éireann. So I'm a very special guest today, Ger McCarthy, Fidelma Marrinan and Niamh Murray. Folks, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Thanks.